The first time I heard about Freemasons was like months, maybe nearly a year after 9/11. There were some videos on YouTube talking about all sorts of conspiracy theories, and then the word Freemason was thrown around a lot. At the time, I didn't know what it meant or who they were, and I didn't care much to look into it, so I didn't really think much of it. Up until a few years later, I seen another video on YouTube saying that Jay-Z was a Freemason. And at the time, Jay-Z was someone that I listened to a lot. And that made me a bit curious to find out a bit more. So I did a little bit of research. But from what I could find out, it just literally said that there were a secret society funded back in the 1700s. A lot of elite people in the world, or people that have influence in the world, are part of that, are part of them, and that they indulge in the occult. Indulge? Is that even a word? They involved with the occult. So that was pretty much all the info that I can get about it. So I wasn't no longer interested. I was a bit put off, to be honest, about it. So I left it as that. A few years later, I'm OT, and I go past this shop. It's a very weird, unique, quirky shop. I had never seen something like that before. I have since, but that was the first time I've ever seen anything like it before. And they had a little caption on the window that made me very curious to go look inside. As I'm looking inside now, I'm seeing things that are just weird to me. Like I'm thinking, who want to buy this shit? Why is there even a shop that sells this kind of things? But one thing in particular really jumped out at me, so I had to ask the man behind the counter about this item. As he was explaining what it was and whatnot, I noticed that he had a Freemason ring in his hand. So after he said what he had to say, I had to ask him, excuse me, look, I see your ring. Are you a Freemason? He said, yeah. And then he asked me, why are you asking? And I said, I'm curious. I had a few questions. He introduced himself. I introduced myself. He shook my hand. And then he said, yeah, so what do you want to know? I was honest with him. So I said to him that from what I've heard, is had only been negative things about it. So I wanted to know what's the other side of the coin, because if it was all that bad, why would anyone want to be a part of that? And he didn't ask me what it was that I heard. He just told me that he reckons that probably 90% of the things that I've heard are just misinformation. I asked him a few questions, as in how long he had been a Mason and as to why he joined up and things like that. He answered everything, but he was dancing around a few questions. So I got the vibe that he didn't really want to chat to me that tough. So I just left it as that. No, sorry. Before I left, I asked him. So, if you was to describe being a Freemason, what would you say to someone like me? And he just looked at me and he said, basically, Freemasons know how to look after other Freemasons. That's what he said. I'm still curious about it, but I still don't know enough to say if I like it or not. So again, I left it as that. A lot of years after that, I'm in a work situation where I meet someone to do business with. We're talking, we say what we have to say. I'm about to leave. I shake his hand, and then he asked me, "Am I a Freemason?" I looked at him. I said, "No," and I asked him "Why is he asking?" And he said, "Oh, because of the way I shook his hand." And I said, "What about it?" And basically, there's a certain way that a Freemason will shake someone's hand to let them know that they're a Freemason. And if you're a Freemason, then you will know the sign. So without having to say any words, people know well gone. And it kind of just reminded me of that film, Skulls and Bones. I don't know if you've watched that. The boy Paul Walker's in it. Elite film, like you need to watch that shit. But anyways, yeah. So he's explaining to me how Freemasons have this secret handshakes and stuff like that. So again, I'm fucking super intrigued, super curious, asking him like, why are they so secretive? Secret. Yeah, why are they so secretive? Like, what really goes on behind the scenes? And he, like, these people, they know how to speak. Like, basically, like, they're very like, I'm not gonna say well educated. They just know how to fucking speak. So this guy, I can't remember what exact words he used, but I'm gonna just give you the gist. Imagine I have a house in Spain. I have a villa in Spain that I'm not using at the moment. I'm here in London. I got an empty villa in Spain, and then one of my fellow Freemasons. No, yeah. Imagine I'm a Freemason, and I got a house in Spain. A fellow Freemason lets me know. Oh, by the way, I'm heading over to Spain for a few weeks, and I mentioned, yeah, look, I got a villa there, and because we're both Freemasons, it's just understood that I got you. Like, I got you. And then let's just imagine I work in an office. Next man is a roofer. I've got a leak. I'm a mason. He's a mason. He's got me. Again, this is just a gist of what he told me in his own words. But basically, he described it as like as a brotherhood that is, that have practices and rituals and customs that have been going on for hundreds of years. And then, yeah, they just do what they do and they like to keep their shit private. Again, I'm just paraphrasing here. That's not how we described it as, but that's what I'm trying to describe you guys. That's what it kind of made it out to be. But he sold it to me, as in I was like, yeah, where the fuck do I sign up? The way he made it out is like, listen, there's a lot of things. Uh, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, kind of thing, and it's a kind of thing where if you know, you know, and there's no way of knowing unless you're one of them because they don't chat their business like that. So I'm fucking sold. I'm like, yeah, bring me in, bro, bring me in. And he's like, say no more. Next 2 Tuesdays, my brother's coming out with a fucking form, like a proper form, as in fucking you're signing up for a gym or a phone contract kind of form. Name, address, bank details. I swear they asked me for my insurance number, all sorts of info. And I was like, nah. And so that, yeah, sorry, I saw the form. I was like, oh, this is a bit, you know what I'm saying? There is like a membership fee, but it's nothing crazy. Like it's nothing like, I would say like it's like a kind of gym membership, kind of phone contract type situation. Like you're not paying crazy money to be in it, but there is a fee. That was cool. But yeah, so they bear in mind they had already sold me on it, and I was willingly happy to join. But they was also kind of pressuring me to like sign the thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, let's da da da. You sign here. Da da da. There wasn't even pressuring about the money or nothing. They just wanted my name on the paper, saying da 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 da. And that fucking put me off to the point where I just had to lock off the whole thing. I gave them fake details, changed my number, and all of that because they just made me feel a certain way. The way they were so eager for me to sign